afternoon. Thanks for joining me. Or is it good? I don't know what time it is there. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, good day. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jopa's daughter, Olabisi, and I don't know if you're new to my channel. Let me introduce myself. So I'm Mama Toby. I have a 17-year-old son who thinks he's going to be 28 on his next birthday. And yeah, so you may call me, or you may hear me being called Mama Toby, because I do talk about my son a lot. And my husband, my estranged husband, is Lawyer Man, and you might hear me talk about him, or you might hear some people mentioning Lawyer Man. And yeah, so basically I have a followership on Facebook where I talk about real life issues as it affects me, as it affects a lot of women. I talk about things that people are going through, but which they are too embarrassed to talk about, or too ashamed to talk about. And yeah, so from when I talk about the things that are happening to me, a lot of women get to know that they are not alone in what they're going through. So recently I became estranged from my husband, my friend, and I talked about it on my wall on Facebook. And so I decided that I'll do videos about my journey as a 51-year-old newly single middle-aged woman, as I chart this course of life being uncoupled. Right, so that is the background information. If there's anything you need to know, please comment and ask me, and I will tell you, and I'll try and answer to the best of my ability. Okay, so there it is. I am 51. I am uncoupled, newly uncoupled. Okay, let me tell you the reason why I am uncoupled. I think you need to have a background of this if you haven't been following me. So basically I had, when I with my ex, the father of my child, when we were together for 7 years, and we were engaged for about 2 years, and he never wanted to go back to Nigeria, and I've always wanted to go back to Nigeria. I came here to study. I didn't relocate here to live here. I came here to study. So my mindset has always been that, I'm only in Britain temporarily. I'm going back to Nigeria soon. And then with Dafe, he never wanted to hear anything good about Nigeria. And then when we broke up, I said to myself, the next person I'm going to be with, seriously, I'd have to clear that with them, because it would be a showstopper for me, for them not to want to go to Nigeria. And so when I met, my husband, Lawyer Man, I said to him, look, listen, my plans are ultimately to live in Nigeria. What about you? And he said, oh, yes, that's true. He also doesn't want to retire here. So that was the plan. And then we said, when the time came, whoever could go first should go, and then the other person should stay in England supporting them. And that was the plan. And then, after a while, after a few years, I found out that, I was working as a project analyst in blue chip companies, and all my contracts were being cut short. 4 contracts back to back, were being cut short for, finance reasons, for various reasons. And so I was really despondent, and I thought, okay, this is it. It's time to go back to Nigeria now. And I had quite a bit of money, and I told my husband that, it was time. And he said we did not have that agreement at all to go back to Nigeria. So for a few years, I'd been, what word would I use now? When your dreams and aspirations are put on the back burner. He's living his life here. He's living his dreams here. He's a lawyer, and I'm not. So I was resentful, yes. So resentment was building up in me. And then about 18 months ago, I was really despondent. And I thought, this is it, it's not even like I have a dual citizenship. It's not even like if I went to Nigeria, I would not be able to come back. Sorry, it's breakfast time here. I'm having cornflakes. See, I don't use fresh milk for my cornflakes. You can take the girl out of Nigeria, but you can't take Nigeria out of the girl. That's what I use for my cornflakes. And I like my cornflakes soggy. So it's been soaking in milk for some time, and I like the milk from it. It's quite it's it tastes malty. Yummy. Yeah, so about 18 months ago or so, I brought the topic up again that, I needed to go to Nigeria. And again, lawyer man said, no, I couldn't go to Nigeria. And I said to him, no, I didn't say anything to him. I just sat down. I checked my finances. How would I cope on my own? And what I needed to get rid of, what I needed to do. And then when I checked everything, I thought that, okay, I'll be okay on my own. I said to him, I want a divorce. And at first, he was like, yeah. Irreconcilable differences, we'll have the divorce now. But later on, he came and said, no, he didn't want to lose me. And I said, we need to talk. We need to talk. And he said, no, there's nothing to talk about. I said, no, we really do need to talk. If the two of us, we can't talk, then we need to get a third party. We need to go for counseling. And he said, no, we don't need counseling, da. So we swept it under the carpet. Again, as we have been. And then a few months later, we had an argument, and once again, he denied something that we had agreed about. And, that was it for me. And I thought, I can't keep doing this. I can't be in a marriage where we have an agreement and then you decide that we didn't have that agreement. And it's not because he has a bad memory. He has a very, very good memory. He does. But he has a selective memory about, when things are not favorable for him, he just basically denies that they happened. And I was tired of that. And then, coupled with the fact that he refused for us to have couple therapy. So there and then, I walked out of the marriage emotionally. I was still there physically, but emotionally, I walked out of that marriage. And I stopped caring, I started making posts on Facebook that, didn't reflect, that I was a married woman. And so, yeah, he got upset about that, and he decided that, okay, that is it. And so, yeah, we both decided, that is it. And now I'm navigating life as a single woman in her 50s. And then I did a post about this thing on Facebook, about how it's so unfair that we women have to be the one that put our dreams on the back burner while our husbands are living their lives. And my inbox was flooded. Like I say, I talk about things that, a lot of people, specifically women, are going through, but which they find that they can't talk about, maybe because of societal pressures, family pressures. You see, I don't have a mother, I don't have a father, and I'm a firstborn, so I don't have elder sisters or elder brothers that will caution me not to write whatever I feel like writing about. So yeah, a lot of women, my inbox was flooded about how I just spoke to them, how I spoke about their issues, how for years they've been the one putting their dreams and aspirations on the back burner, while their husbands have been, intentional about their own pursuit of their own dreams and aspirations. And this is a common problem with Nigerian women. So let's talk about it. Please subscribe, share, like, and press the bell so that I can get my videos as they drop. So we need to talk about these things. Dear Nigerian woman, your dreams and your aspirations are just as valid as that of your husband's. So why don't we look for a win-win situation instead of a winner-takes-all situation that is currently happening in a lot of Nigerian homes? I just feel that the woman makes too much sacrifices, and that is why when the children flee the coop, the women are at a loss, and that's when they become, mothers-in-law from hell, because they don't have a life apart from their children. They haven't built a life of their own apart from their children. So yeah, let's join me as I navigate this new journey as a middle-aged, newly single woman. And if you're in the same boat as me, let's talk about it. How are you faring? How are you dealing with the loneliness? Oh, when I was in Nigeria, when we both decided to call it off, and Nigeria is my happy place, really. And I really didn't feel it. But when I go back to England, oh my God, no, not really the loneliness, the panic attacks. I get panic attacks, and it gets worse when there are triggers like relationship issues, financial issues. There are triggers for me. And this past few days were a trigger for me when I came back. And he seemed to have moved on really fast. He was really at home. He was only just coming to check his mails. And even though I don't miss, being married, I've made my peace with that. The sacrifices that a marriage demands, for me, is not worth the dividends I'm getting back. But I do want companionship. And so the panic attacks, my mental health suffered a bit in the first few days after getting back to Britain. And I hadn't used my medication in a while. I hadn't used my panic meds in a while because they finished when I was in Nigeria and I didn't need them. I was okay in Nigeria. But I had to go back and get them here. So I'm getting better now. So how are you dealing? How's your mental health being, separated or being divorced? How's your mental health? How are the kids taking it? Toby says he's fine, but I don't think he is. Sometimes he just mopes around the house. Sometimes he just slouches his shoulders around the house. He says he's fine. And I keep on asking him, do you want to talk about it? And he says, no, he's just sorry for me. He's sad for me, but not for himself, that he's okay. So how are your kids coping with the breakdown of the marriage or the relationship? Is your ex or your soon-to-be ex, is he cooperating with you? Or is there a pushback from him? Yeah, let's talk about this thing. And, the dating scene. Yeah, one thing happened. In a fit of anger, I went and joined Match.com because he pissed me off as well about something. So I said, right, I'm going to start dating now. So I went and joined Match.com. But I find that I'm not emotionally ready to date yet. So, no, I haven't started dating. But how are you navigating the dating field, the dating scene? Are you finding it easy? Are you finding it difficult? So, if you've been coupled for a very long time, it can be quite daunting to be there on your own, And so let's talk about it. These are real life issues that affect middle-aged women, that not even just middle-aged women, any woman that's been uncoupled after, a few years of coupling or marriage. Let's talk about it. So it's Jopa's daughter Olabisi again. Like I said, please share, please subscribe, please comment, because I'm trying to create a community here, and I couldn't do it if I was just talking to myself alone. So please subscribe, please share, and please click on that bell so that you can get my videos as they drop. Okay? All right, then take care of your mental health. It's very, very important. Thanks for joining me. Bye.